I'm not even gonna say this is my top 5, but I'm gonna just say these are 5 very influential games to me. We'll keep it like that, all right? So the first one being X-Men versus Street Fighter, right? So growing up, me and my brother would like always play fighting games. That was kind of like our thing. We're always playing fighting games. So whether it be Street Fighter 2, eventually Marvel vs. Capcom, we played all of the old school ones. X-Men versus Street Fighter was big in particular because that's when my dad was like overseas at the time, and back then on the PS1, you couldn't play outside region games, right? So in order to do that, you had to get a chip installed. I think you had to get it soldered, I'm pretty sure. You had to get it soldered into the system, and then that enabled you to have like a region locked PS1. So also back in the day, that's when you literally could just like burn a game to a CD and pop it in there, assuming that your PS1 was modded and could read it. So when he went to like Singapore, I think, and he like came back, he bought all these games that like never came out, hadn't even came out yet. Some of them art were old, but a lot of them hadn't even came out. Like Final Fantasy VIII hadn't even dropped yet, and we got like Japanese Final Fantasy VIII like half a year or like a year before the game even came out in the States. So we would just play all these like random like games. Some of it I still to this day never knew the names of them because they were all Japanese games. That was the main thing. Almost all of them were Japanese unless they had a multi like language translation. So X-Men vs. Street Fighter in particular, that was like one of the earlier precursors, like before Marvel vs. Capcom, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And like I just really liked the game and I wanted to get really good at it. And that was still back in the day where people were playing at like arcades and stuff all the time. So I remember I wanted to learn how to do air combos because air combos were like super cool and they were really hyped to do. So my brother actually taught me how to do air combos. And like I feel like that kind of cemented myself into learning and really started to get into like fighting games, because literally learning how to do air combos, I was like, this is so cool, this is so badass kind of thing. And I mean, I played that game for the longest, and I remember that the Japanese version has like this guy, he's like I have to pull him up, bro, but he's like a businessman, dude. I don't even know what his name is, but he's literally like some weird like businessman joke character, and he was like only in the Japanese version. This guy right here, look, Norimaru. Look at this man, dude. Oh yeah, Cyber Kuma, bro. But he was like terrible on purpose, just throwing stuff at you. But yeah, he was originally, I think, only in the Japanese version, even though it says it's in the US. I could be wrong, whatever. But yeah, that is definitely like the foundation for all of like the fighting games that I play now. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, which eventually led to like Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Then he led to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is, by the way, my favorite fighting game of all time. Best soundtrack. Literally has all the old characters from the old games like X-Men vs. Street Fighter just put in a new game. So it's essentially just a better version of all the old games. But yeah, that'd be like one on my list. So next one would be Halo 3. And so Halo 3 actually works similar to Marvel X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It works very similar in that way because that was kind of like my break into like online shooters. That's back when my brother had the 360, and it was really hard to play Xbox Live Online because you needed the Wi-Fi adapter. And if you had the Ethernet cord, then you could plug it in. But if you had to buy the wireless adapter, it was like $60 to $80. It was like really expensive for the 360. So eventually we were able to play Xbox Live, but the way we used to do it is I used to just like remake passwords or remake usernames constantly, just because if I remade those, I would get a free month of Xbox Live. So I would always just take advantage of getting the free month of like Xbox Live every time. But yeah, back on Halo 3. We already dived off topic, but Halo 3, like I said, brought the Xbox Live back into the fray, and I would just always make these usernames, and I used to do this username so stupid. It's kind of the precursor to BigDonSkillz, oddly enough. It was called Balls in Your Face. Teenager shit, dude. That's the honest response to it. That's just teenager stuff, right? And it was like capital B ALLZ, capital IN, capital YOU, or I'm sorry, capital Y and then O and then capital FACE. Yeah. So I used to just make that, and then I would just add numbers to it. And every month I would just make new Xbox Live accounts. But we played a lot of Halo 3, man. And it was split screen co-op, which a lot of games don't have that anymore. To play online, split screen co-op online. That's one of the things I appreciate about Mario Kart, excuse me. Because you could still split screen and play online against other people. Halo 3 had that, and you had your separate progresses too. So my rank and my brother's rank were separate. That eventually led to me playing Modern Warfare 2. And like Modern Warfare 2 is definitive, bro. Like that has set the standard for like every shooter afterwards. So Modern Warfare 2, eventually Battlefield 4, and then Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, all those games, dude. Battlefield 1, Hardline, not a good game, but whatever. It kind of just set the precursor for all the shooters, and that's why I play stuff now. I pretty much put that for Halo 3, because it led to Modern Warfare 2. Then it kind of I dropped it, and then I don't really care for Halo anymore. Next would be Pokemon, and this is a pretty obvious reason, but like I literally grew up on Pokemon, the original Pokemon, Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, 3rd generation, kind of 4th generation. Then I started just kind of growing out of it. But Pokemon was so iconic. Like when it came out, I remember my brother and me getting it for Christmas, and I think he got blue and I got red. No, I think he got red and I got blue. I actually don't remember. I have to ask him, but yeah, that was kind of like the thing of that. We both had our own versions, and then I just like couldn't stop playing it, bro. I literally couldn't stop playing it. Yo, what's up, Leroy? What's going on, man? We over here talking about my top 5 influential games, or just 5 very influential games, not necessarily my top 5. But yeah, it was Pokemon. And back in the day, bro, like if you had somebody who had a link cable, clutch, man. Because you had no Wi-Fi, there was no such thing as wireless internet. And you still had dial-up to where if people called you, the phone, if people called, the internet would hang up because it went through the phone line. So yeah, man, dial-up was prominent and link cables were the biz. And I used to just play. I remember I had a dude named Gregory. I remember Gregory. I actually used to get in trouble because me and the kid would get in a fight so much, and I beat his ass. And like my mom and their parents talked, and then we weren't allowed to play with each other for a long time. Then eventually we were cool again. But yeah, we used to fight all the time. But that was back in the day when you had the miss and go glitch, dude. And miss and go glitch was like the most iconic thing ever, bro. And with that glitch, you could level your Pokemon past 100. So what I would do is, I hated playing against legendaries back in the day. So like, if you played a legendary, I thought you were lame. So I never used legendaries in my team. And I had this Starmie. I remember like it was yesterday. The Starmie was level 222. Because you could literally keep leveling him up. I think all the way to 999. I really don't know what the limit was. But like I just stopped at 222. And I would save him for when people would use legendaries. Hence like when back when you were a kid, all the kids are just gonna use all legendaries because they know they're the strongest, right? But like I just didn't believe in that. So I would pull out the Starmie and one-shot his entire team with Tackle and Water Gun because, once you use a Water Stone, they can't learn any more moves. And he had like basic like Starmie move, literally like tackle and water gun, and like maybe bubble beam or something. So I could kill his Mew. He had Mewtwo, Zapdos, Articuno, Moltres, and then like probably Dragonite or something. He had a really, really like generic top tier team, you know. But yeah, that eventually led to like Gold and Silver, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Probably, it's definitely top. Gold and Silver's top 10 games for me, definitely. That led to third, and eventually led to third generation. I didn't like Ruby and Sapphire, but I really liked Emerald. Emerald was like very, very good. And then I played fourth generation. I had it on my original DS. And then after that, I played Black and White, and then I just stopped liking Pokemon. I even had the strategy guide for Black and White. I just kind of fell off from it. And the original Mystery Dungeon 2 was really good. Yeah, IRL fighting games. I know, right? Crystal, Luigi's Mansion, Future Tactics, Harvest Moon, Mineral Town. Oh, yeah, dude. I remember Mineral Town for the Game Boy Advance. Yeah. Those are some good ones. I don't know Future Tactics, though. You didn't tell me about that one. Yeah, Mortal Kombat was iconic, too. So next game would be, I said Super Smash World. That was supposed to be Super Mario World or Super Smash Brothers. So we'll just start off with Super Smash Brothers. Yeah, all these games involve a story that I can usually remember or relate to. So like, for example, a lot of these stories involve my brother, but the way we got Super Smash Brothers back on the 64 was that we literally traded in an original freaking Game Boy, bro, like gray brick Game Boy, and I think we got $60 for it. I think 50 or $60. Can you believe that? It was either Best Buy. It was either Best Buy, Electronic Boutique, or Funko Land. I don't remember which one. I mean, not Best Buy, GameStop. That was back when all of those existed, man. For all y'all OGs in here, y'all know about Funko Land and EB Games, Electronic Boutique. There was one more, I think. I just can't think of the name of it. But yeah, that was what was I gonna say? Yeah, we traded it in for that, and then we got the original Super Smash Brothers. Absolutely hooked, dude. To this game, I still think it's like the most underrated. It's like the most underrated game in the series for sure. A lot of guys that were born later on didn't really ever go back and play 64. The 64 was amazing. Super fun. Like, best Captain Falcon, by the way. Best Falcon Punch is 64 Falcon. He actually sounded really manly. I hated the way Falcon sounded in Melee. But, bro, you had Link with the, like, worst jump recovery ever made. Like, Link recovery was a joke, bro. I think Little Mac's recovery is better than Link, actually. You had Kirby and Fox, bro. Those were like the biz, bro. Kirby was super cool, and Fox was just like the equivalent of picking Ken in Street Fighter. So yeah, I know it wasn't GameStop if you got more than $5. I know, right? They give you $5 V-Bucks before Fortnite came out. Yeah, they don't give you nothing. They don't give you nothing. And so, of course, with Smash Brothers, if you all know, I stream and play Smash now. One thing led to another. We had Melee, and then, dude, we would just wake up Saturday mornings and play Melee for hours, bro. And we thought we were tight because we could beat the level 9 computers. So we'd play items, computers, we'd play teams, free-for-all. I don't even think we ever did 1v1s, really. So that was that. Then Brawl came out. And Brawl is actually, now that I think about it, Brawl may have been one of the first games I played online. Because the Wi-Fi was built into the Wii. Excuse me. Before like, the DS too. So the DS and then the Wii had that built-in like own Wi-Fi, which was clutch, bro. And like I said, the router was downstairs next to my parents' TV, so I wasn't trying to, I'm not gonna sit here and sit in front of the TV and play games. First of all, I don't feel comfortable, and second of all, they're not gonna let me do that for very long. But yeah, I would play Brawl online. I used to go on this website called NeoSeeker. NeoSeeker is a forum that are still around actually. And in NeoSeeker, you know, you could post like your friend code if you want to play people online. You could like talk to people in the forums and then like DM each other and then play online. And that was probably like, I don't know what year Brawl came out, but I was probably somewhere between like 12 and 14, if that, maybe. I'd just say 12 or 13, now that I think about it. And I used to play Game & Watch. Game & Watch was my Brawl main. That's who I really liked. And then I just kind of set the precedence for it, really. I played a lot of Brawl online. I mean, I didn't know what tier lists or anything were. At least I don't think I did. And I just really like Game & Watch, but I enjoyed playing like those 1v1 matches with like no items. Like, oh, this is pretty cool. Then eventually Smash 4 came out. Then I started taking the game a little bit more serious. And then that kind of led to Ultimate and me being here now, really. So I think that's really the thing of Smash Brothers. And then we'll do last but not least would be Jet Set Radio. So Jet Set Radio Future in particular is like super iconic to me. And I think that is the reason why I'm so into like game OSTs and stuff now. There's a few other games I can mix in with that, but like maybe we'll save that for a part 2 video, right? But Jet Set Radio's music is like the sole reason to play the game. Like the music is way better than the game, and the game itself is great. So like just being able to play just be able to play a game that you can literally just like sing along to and just bop your head is like absolutely amazing, bro. Like absolutely amazing. And it was a very hard game to play and get your hands on because it was originally for the original Xbox. Yo, what's up, Unique in third? What's going on? I'll reply to you in a second. It was just so iconic because, like I said, you played a game that was super fun and had great music, and then you would just literally just like skate around the city. Like the open world aspect of it was pretty good for its time, and the characters were cool, the stages were cool, there was secrets. I like the graffiti. Like it was just dope overall. And yeah, to this day I feel that was the main reason why I even started listening to like game music like I did. The game we talked earlier about Gakido. I know Geezer was aware of me saying Gakido. Maybe we'll say that for a part 2, you know. But yeah, I would say those are 5 of my influential games. Very influential games. X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Halo 3, which I kind of dipped into a little bit of Modern Warfare with that. Pokemon as a whole series, starting from the original Red and Blue and going up to the 4th generation. Super Smash Bros, which I labeled as Super Mario World, but Super Smash Bros, as well as that whole series. So from Nintendo 64, which set the precedence for the other like next set of games. And then Jet Set Radio, which, like I said, was carried by just an amazing soundtrack and just being a very obscure game that not a lot of people knew about at the time. But yes, that is it for my summary. Boom! How y'all like that? Top 5 influential games.